Hey friends, welcome to Northbound Faith, for real people. I'm Josh. Today I want to talk about something that hits all of us at different times and seasons of life. And that's the idea of feeling spiritually stuck. A little while back, I was in one of those seasons myself, actually, those times where you finally get desperate enough, get tired enough to sit down and read your Bible, and your eyes hit the words, and your heart's nowhere to be found. That was me. And I wasn't in a crisis, nothing dramatic was happening, but spiritually I felt like my shoes were stuck in the mud. And as I sat there, I remember thinking man, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this? I know better than this. So trust me, if you feel stuck, you're tired, numb, or maybe you're just off, you're not weird, you're human. So let's talk through a few reasons why I think this happens. First is sometimes you're not stuck, you're just tired. I know it sounds simple, but it's real. Life gets heavy, and you carry that heaviness into your spiritual life, your family, your marriage, your work, your responsibilities, stress, all these. None of these stay in their own box. And sometimes your soul isn't dry, your body and mind are just worn out. In fact, Jesus never said to push harder. He said, come to me and I'll give you rest. That's in Matthew 11. So when the rest of your life is running on fumes, as it does in many of our lives, your spiritual life is going to feel it too. And that's not failure, that's God inviting you to slow down. And the second is this: sometimes your attention is scattered. The truth is, we live in a very loud world. Our minds are constantly running, notifications are constantly being sent, appointments are constantly being made, endless scrolling. And then we sit down to pray and read, and wondering why God feels far off. A distracted heart often feels like a distant heart. Psalm 46 says, be still and know that I'm God. Stillness isn't a luxury. It's actually a spiritual discipline. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is sit in silence for a few minutes and let the noise dissipate. Let it settle. Next is this: sometimes you're carrying everything alone. Let me tell you something I've seen over and over again, and it's been true in my own life. Isolation makes everything feel heavier. Proverbs 18:1 says, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire, he breaks out against all sound judgment. See, God forms people in community. That's the purpose of community. When we hide our struggles, we don't talk about what's really going on, we get stuck in our own head, and that's a dangerous place to be. That's where the enemy loves to be. Sometimes breakthrough comes the moment you say, hey, I'm not okay. Can we talk? It's that simple. And it takes some humility to do that. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just needs to be honest. And next is this: sometimes you feel stuck because you're avoiding conviction. Now, I want to say this gently, but clear. You and I are both aware that there are moments in our lives that God nudges our hearts about something. Instead of responding, we put a Band-Aid over it and get busy. Maybe it's a habit you know isn't healthy, or unforgiveness that's been festering in a relationship. Maybe it's sin you've been engaging in, or maybe even a step of obedience you've been delaying because you're scared. When we ignore conviction, our hearts get heavy. It's just a reality. Heaviness feels like being stuck, and that's actually God's grace drawing us back to Him. So listen, conviction is not God pushing you away. That's a massive misconception. Conviction is God pulling you close in His kindness, and He's saying, hey, let's take this serious. I've got some freedom for you right around the corner. Okay, so how do you move forward? Well, I'm going to give you a few simple things, nothing complicated. The first is this: rest. Yes, just rest. You have to prioritize it. Turn your phone over, turn it off if you have to. Close your eyes for a minute. Go for a walk. Take a nap. Breathe. Sometimes rest is actually spiritual warfare. Josh Garrell sang this song in lyrics that said, rest is a weapon against the oppression of man's obsession to control things. So we need rest. We need to just let go of the illusion that we control everything, so we actually rest. And the next is this: refocus your attention. You don't have to build a huge plan. Just pick one simple daily practice. Read a psalm or a chapter in the Gospels. Pray one honest prayer. Lord, this is where I'm at. Help. Sit for 3 minutes. One small, faithful step can make a huge difference. The next is invite someone in. You don't need a sermon. You need a voice. You need a listening ear. Tell a friend, hey, something's off in my heart lately, man. Like, the reality is healing accelerates in community, in friendships. So be honest about the conviction. He already sees the things you're carrying. He knows the weight you're carrying. Just bring it to him. Say, Jesus, I know you're trying to get my attention, so help me respond. And you will be amazed at how quickly your heart softens when you stop running. So anyway, listen, you're not stuck because God has moved away. You're not stuck because you're failing. You're not stuck because you're too far gone. You're human. You're fighting all the things in life, all the pressures, and Jesus meets humans with gentleness and grace. So if this helped you, stick around, and in the comments, let me know which one of these really struck a chord with you today. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next one.